welcome to another video.
Right guys, before I start this video, let me explain to you what's happening around me here. I'm currently here at the square where there's a big poster of Deng Xiaoping up there. And well, it is a Saturday night, early summer night's eve. And this is what people do. They come hang out. You'll get like middle-aged women love dancing. Let me zoom. Sorry, show you guys. So middle-aged women usually come out and do their dancing, which really annoys a lot of people because it's noisy. But I think it's kind of cool that they're getting out there and doing something. Children are learning to rollerblade around here. You've got horrible techno blaring over there. And yeah, just people and families are just hanging out really. Kid wants to piss in the bush here, as he's just announced, and he's probably going to do it right now. Yes, he is. He's just pissing in the bush there. Very nice of him. And yeah, that's it. We're here sitting underneath some pretty impressive skyscrapers. The Kinky 100, Diwang Dasha. Over there's the stock exchange. And it's actually a nice night, except just very noisy. I hope you guys can, hope you guys can hear me over all this noise. So let's get started, shall we? But if I'm going to survive this noise and nonsense that's going on around me, I'm going to need a beer. And it has been a hell of a day, so I know I look ragged, but it's really hot. I do have my cure. So let's get this open and we can get started. Right guys, cheers. This is kind of like a throwback to my old videos where I just used to sit around and drink and talk. So that's fantastic. All right, let's get on to the topic today. Today's topic is privacy in China. Now, I really do hope you can hear me over this noise, because otherwise this is going to be a complete waste of a video. But I'm just going to go ahead and record and pretend that you can hear me, all right? Right, let's talk about privacy. And this is something you're going to have to get used to if you come to live here in China, and that is that privacy pretty much doesn't exist. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to privacy is actually a positive thing. Here I am, a dodgy looking old guy with a beer, standing here and filming children. And that's what I'm doing. Look, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm standing here filming young children doing their rollerblading. And nobody bats an eyelid. There's not a single person here who's like, oh my God, there's a dodgy old geezer with a beer filming my kids. And that is a good thing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing, because I'm not a dodgy old geezer. I'm not some kind of a creep who wants to film children for my own perverse pleasures. I just want to film children because I want to show you guys what people do in their spare time. I'm not going to go home and secretly watch these things and do strange things. So that's one thing that's positive about China, is that people don't, they're not overly sensitive when it comes to filming them, for instance. That's also why in most of my videos I could just walk into shops and, just walk up to people and film them, and I don't get anyone, telling me to delete the footage or asking me what I'm doing or telling me that I'm invading their privacy or anything. Because that kind of culture, that kind of thing just doesn't exist in China, which is probably a big problem for most Westerners, and I'll explain why, because that bounces back on you, right? Alright, so that thing that I said is positive can also be a negative, because very often I catch people taking photos of me because, well, I'm a foreigner, I'm something different, and people, when they see me, they feel compelled to take a photo, I don't know, to show their friends or family or post on their WeChat moments or whatever it is. So I'll very often catch people sneakily taking photos with their phones, or just very blatantly pulling out a camera or a phone to take a photo of me. I don't mind. Personally, it's not a big deal for me. I mean, I film people here all the time, so I have the mindset that, well, eye for an eye, so I don't mind. But there are people that do mind their photo being taken. And it can sometimes result in some very interesting things. And I'll get onto that right away. Okay, give me a second. So, a couple of years ago, I was at a trade show. And they had a bunch of different booths showing off different tools and whatever else. And there was one booth that was selling like electric screwdrivers. So I went over there and they had like a test bench where you could test out the screwdrivers. So while I was doing this, someone in the shop came up and took a photo of me. Now, I didn't take much mind or pay much mind of it, but I actually ended up in their catalog because a couple of months later, a Chinese friend of mine said, "Hey, I saw your picture in this catalog," and they showed it to me, and sure enough, there I was trying out the electronic screwdriver, and they were like saying something under there like internationally tested, world-renowned, something like that, and it had me there screwing the screwdriver. So, you know, it can sometimes lead to things like that, which, I don't know, it could bother some people, but for me, I just found it hilarious. I've also, you know, a long time ago I used to teach English. That's how I got off the ground here. That's how I got to where I am today, you know. And that's what most people do here in China, is they teach English, right? But in order to get a job at a training center, you have to go and do a demo class, which is basically you go there and do like a 1 hour or a half an hour class. And if they like what you do, they hire you. So I went to a training center, this is many years ago, like 9 years ago or something like that. So I went to this training center to do a demo class. And I did my 1 hour, half an hour demo class, I can't remember, and afterwards they wanted to take a picture of me with the kids. So fair enough, we all stood there at the blackboard and they took a photo. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, I hadn't heard back from them. They didn't give me a job, by the way. I never worked there again. And they didn't pay me for the demo class, it's free. But anyway, a couple of weeks later, there was a massive billboard on the side of a building with my picture with all these kids on advertising the training center, which was kind of annoying, to be fair. And I went to complain to them. I said, "Look, you didn't give me a job, you haven't given me a visa, so why are you putting me up there? That could put me at risk here, because I don't have a visa, you know, work visa, I have a tourist visa." And they were just like, "Well, you know, sorry, it's done, what's done is done, we paid for it, so we can't take it down." And they weren't even willing to like offer me any kind of compensation. So I was just a bit miffed about it, but there was nothing I could do, I just had to accept it, you know. So that's another example of privacy kind of going out the window here. So you have to be willing to accept that kind of thing happening. Now, what actually sparked off this video, the reason why I made it in the first place, is a couple of days ago, I'm in a WeChat group, and WeChat is like WhatsApp here, right? And that's how people communicate with each other. Someone had approached a visa agent. Now, as you all know, visas are becoming a lot more difficult to get here in China. And so a lot of people are resorting to sort of visa agents. And visa agents, usually they have all the connections, they can grease the wheels, and you've got a better chance of your visa going through. But while she was querying them as to what documents she should send, the visa agent sent her examples. So he said, send the data page of your passport, send your recent visa, send your local, like, latest entry stamp and that kind of thing. And he gave examples, but what he did was, oops, hang on, just dropping my beer here. What he did is he actually sent one of his other clients' passport pages and visa pages and latest entry stamp pages to her as an example. But they were his full pages, not censored or anything. So his name, his everything was there, nothing was censored. And she took objection to this. She said, you know, you shouldn't be showing me your client's personal information like that. And he was like, well, if you're going to complain, go find another agent. And that's just something else you have to realize, is that your personal documents, if you give them to someone, don't expect them to remain safe and private. They probably will end up being shown around very blasé, like that was. And, well, I find that rather shocking and unacceptable, but that's kind of how it happens here. And, you know, I've had random people give my phone number to random people and give my contacts to random people, and it's just the way things work here. It's a very sort of social, like an ant colony, really, to be honest. Like, nobody really assumes there's anything like privacy. Everybody's just entitled to everyone else's stuff, which I guess comes from the whole fact that the country's supposed to be communist, even though it's not. All right, so on the subject of privacy, check this dude out. Like literally the guy is coming and staring in my face to see what I'm doing. So it's just one of those things you have to accept. See, now he's standing right here to watch me. And behind me here, there's another chick watching me. So, you know, that's the thing. If privacy is your thing, China's not the place. It's not a very private place. The only privacy you'll get is from other Westerners because, well, you'll be surrounded, like I said, here comes another one. You will be surrounded by people who are curious and interested in what you're doing, but they can't speak your language, so you can kind of feel like you're in your own private space, but to be honest, you won't be. Right guys, so I'd just like to sign off by saying, if these kind of things don't bother you, because they certainly don't bother me, I don't mind if you got some strange old geezers coming and staring at me and whatnot, I can handle that, I've got a thick enough skin. You know, by the same token, I can be free to just be here filming whoever I want and people don't bother me about it, so that's why I can get away with filming what I do here in China. If that kind of works for you, then, you know, come to China. It's a blast, it's an interesting place. Until next time guys, I gotta be off. This place is driving me insane with all the music. I'm gonna go finish off my beers and until next time, stay awesome.